Hey, welcome back to Beer and Philosophy. Cheers. So I want to talk briefly about apologies. When should we apologize for something and when should we not apologize for something? Apologies are really good in the sense that they acknowledge that I've done something wrong, and it's a first step at making amends. When can apologies go wrong? Well, one way they can go off the rails is if we apologize when we don't believe we've actually done anything wrong, we don't think we actually did anything wrong, and yet we still feel this compulsion to apologize. Now I'm Canadian, so of course we don't traffic in stereotypes on this channel, obviously, but there is a tendency for us Canadians to apologize frequently, let's say. So here's a story about that. I was in New York City and I was flying home, and in the airport, they make you pour out your water from your water bottle. So I was refilling my water bottle at a fountain, and it's a liter water bottle, so it took me a while, and they're filling it. And then I turn around and notice there's this woman who's been waiting behind me. And so I was like, sorry. And she looked at me like, she said, oh, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. And, as if I'd committed some grievous injury and it was, deeply apologizing for this. I didn't actually say this, but I wanted to say something like, no, you don't understand. I'm Canadian. I don't mean it. Now, it's not true that we don't mean it. What I'd say is, our threshold for apologizing is quite low. A friend of mine in high school used to apologize all the time, and when we tell her, don't apologize, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So, it's a bit of a Canadian habit, let's say. Okay, so apologizing when you don't believe you've done anything wrong, that's actually unhelpful. Not only is that a disservice to the person I'm apologizing to, it's also a disservice to me as it undermines my belief in myself, my confidence. So it's a lose-lose when I apologize despite not believing I've done anything wrong. On the flip end of that spectrum is people who either don't apologize. I've known people who are just like, they refuse to apologize. Even they just won't admit that they did anything wrong. They'll say things like, well, that's in the past now. Let's move forward. Or mistakes were made as if like, well, we all make mistakes, which is true, or saying, well, you made just as many mistakes as I did. Like, none of this is helpful, and I've had this in friendships, dating relationships, professional relationships, like bosses of mine, whatever, this has happened, right? Not helpful. So, we should apologize when we have done something wrong. And the other thing is sometimes people apologize disingenuously. I remember one time going to someone that, I guess I believe had harmed me. And, when I finally was able to have a conversation with them and let them know about this, their response was something like, well, sorry. It's like, well, you don't sound that sorry. So this is also unhelpful. Right, so I think either like Yoda would say, either do or do not. And so if you're going to apologize, then do it, and do it with authenticity and, avoiding justifications or rationalizations or excuses. Just, apologize to the person. I recognize, here's a little story about this. So I got on a bus one time, and I guess, I had taken off my jacket, and I guess somehow, as I was taking it off, it had hit someone else on the bus. And so, the guy got very upset, and it was like, "Hey, you just hit me with your jacket, man!" And so I turned to him and said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And it's almost like he couldn't accept that I was just immediately apologizing, that I wasn't, firing back with some obscenities or something. And, so he was like, "I said you just hit me with your jacket." So I said, I hear you. I'm sorry. And so he was genuinely apologizing. And so he immediately was de-escalated from that apology, right? Because it was genuine. I genuinely felt bad that I had done this. I hadn't even realized I had hit him. Okay, so apologies can be very, very powerful when they're done with authenticity. And let's avoid either not apologizing when we've done something wrong, or let's avoid over-apologizing or apologizing when we haven't done anything wrong.